How many review requests do you need to send to get a single Google review? Well, it's funny because most people think that if they send 10 requests, they're going to get 10 reviews. And unfortunately, that expectation leads them to nothing more than frustration. Now, the first thing you need to understand is that most people will not leave you a review. No matter how nicely you ask them, most people just won't do it. So you have to understand that 51% of your requests, at least, are going to fall to deaf ears, and they're just not going to do it. Now, you have to understand also, Google is putting more emphasis on reviews leading to rankings. So what that means is that your reviews now play a bigger part in ranking in Google. So that means that Google is getting way, 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 way more skeptical and scrutinizing reviews more than they ever have in the past. Now, that is why if a client says, I left your review, and then you look and it's not there, that's why. Now, we're going to talk about how to increase the trust factors of your client's Google My Business profile in a second here, but I want to talk to you about or your client's Google profiles in a second here, but I want to talk to you about realistic request expectations, right? So there's an attorney, his name's John Fisher. He actually helped me write this book. I interviewed him and he helped me. 5-star attorney. But he's also written The Power of a System, and he's written The Law Firm of Your Dreams, and I believe he has another one coming out soon. So after I interviewed him for my book, 5-Star Attorney, it kind of inspired him to focus on reviews for himself. So what he did is he decided on January 1st of last year that he was going to, every single day, he was going to send out at least one review request, right? So I talked to him he started this in January. I had talked to him in October. So I talked to him in October, and by this point, he had received 308 Google reviews, right? That's pretty great. Who here would love to have 308 Google reviews? I'm sure a lot of people would, right? Now, here's the thing. He sent out over 900 requests over that period. So what does that mean? That means that his success rate is about 33%. And this is with him really being on it, like really focusing on it every single day, right? So I think that this is probably the best success rate you're going to have, 33%. So that means that in an ideal world, and under the best circumstances where you're actively doing this every single day, you can expect 1 out of 3 reviews to actually come back. But I think the reality is that you really have to think about is that I think you really need to send 4 review requests for every review that you expect to get, right? Now, I know this isn't great news, but here is the good news, is that it is just as hard for your competitors to get reviews as well. These numbers aren't special for you. These are special for everybody, right? Because Google is making it much more difficult to get reviews to stick. Now, what can you do to make Google, make it more likely that the review is going to stick? Because I'm sure you've seen reviews that have been posted and they just don't appear, or reviews are up and then they get taken down, right? Well, it all has to do with the trust factor of the Google account. So the Google account that's left the review. So one of the things you can do is you can make sure that your client is actually using the Google account. You don't want them to just create an account and then never use it and then just log in and leave you a review, because that review is not going to stick. So ideally, you want the client to be using Gmail, active in their email. One thing you can do is you can actually share documents with them in Google Drive. You can make sure that the client has has their entire profile filled out with their name. They have a picture uploaded. They have their birthday and any other information that Google asks on their Google profile. All these things will increase the trust factor of the review account and make it much more likely that the reviews will stick. Now, I understand that this can be a pain in the neck and a lot to ask for the client. So that is why it's super important that you incentivize your staff to actually help the client get their account set up and take some time and even go on Zoom and screen share with them and make sure the account is set up so that they can actually leave you a review. I know it's a pain in the butt. I know it is. But it's a pain in the butt for everybody. It's not just a pain in the butt for you, right? So, but what I want you to really understand is that if you send 4 requests or 5 requests and you only get 1 review, that's not bad. That is par for the course, right? We've had clients that have used Review Judge, the software that we sell, and they've sent 10 requests and they've gotten 3 or 4 reviews. and they're disappointed. And we're like, well, no, that's actually really good. When you actually look at, compare that to John Fisher, you got 40%. He's only at 33%. So you actually did great. So I just want to let you guys have the proper expectations that reviews are the biggest thorn in my side as a marketer. It's so difficult. You ask people to leave a review, they don't do it. They finally do it, and then Google doesn't show the review. It's super, super frustrating, but unfortunately, it is so, so, so important for your business. We found, Bazaar Voice Network analyzed 50 million reviews, and they found that when a law firm, or any business gets more than 200 reviews, their revenue increases by 44%. So that's how important this is. If you made $1 million last year, that means that get 200 reviews and your revenue is going to go to $1.4 million, right? So super, super important. Just have to understand this expectation, understand these ratios, that if you want, if you need 25 reviews, you got to send 100 requests. Unfortunately, it's just the game we're playing here. So hopefully you understand that. And we have other videos around here that teach you alternative ways and alternative people you can ask for reviews because it is so, so important that you get these numbers up. So I appreciate you watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know.